जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजन रञ्जना यमुनतीरवनचारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनतीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजन रञ्जना यमुनतीरवनचारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजन रञ्जना यमुनतीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजन रञ्जना यमुनतीरवनचारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजन रञ्जना यमुनतीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधवा जय बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा। So we start into prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो महावधन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्र्ये नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गोब्राह्मण्याय हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् ॐ अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थगतोऽपि वा यस्मरेति पुण्डरीकाक्षं स बाह्याभ्यन्तरः शुचिः श्रीविष्णु 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 हरे कृष्ण प्रभु से माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम हरे कृष्ण श्रीशा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम हरे कृष्ण शारदा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम हरे कृष्ण लीलांग प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
पुष्पला माता जी हरे
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत
प्रणाम हरे कृष्ण सनातन रूपदास प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
हरे कृष्ण श्री गोपाल प्रभु हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
हरे कृष्ण पार्वती माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम हरे कृष्ण बालामणि माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
Thank you all for joining this 10th canto class we are
हरे
doing.
कृष्ण
So, in the 10th canto, what is 10th canto is called? 10th canto is called Ashraya. Ashraya means, the thing to surrender, right? Whose Ashraya you're taking? It's Lord Krishna's Ashraya you're taking, basically. That's what 10th canto is all about. So we come so far, we completed 9 cantos and have come to the 10th canto, and today we'll be discussing 10th canto, second chapter. So if you look at it also, it's about 12 cantos. If you look at it in terms of cantos, we are close to the end. But if you look at it in terms of books, number of volumes, like 18 volumes, and we're left with about 7 volumes, 4 of 10th, 2 of 11th, and 1 of 12th, so about 7 out of 18 means we're more than 50%. We're close to 60%. Even otherwise, 10th canto has 90 chapters and 11th canto has, I think, about 32 chapters basically. So 9th, 10th and 11th canto together is about 120 chapters out of 330 chapters, which means it's more than 1/3 of Bhagavatam is about Krishna. The 10th and 11th cantos are about Krishna basically, right? Till 9th canto, we have seen Sukadev Goswami telling Parikshit Maharaj about different topics, different Krishna Leelas, Krishna Avataras, and all that stuff. Then Parikshit Maharaj, probably, he's left with 7 days, and for the 9th cantos, probably 4 days have passed, and then this must be in the beginning of 5th day, basically. It's close to less than 72 hours are left in his life, basically. At this point, Parikshit Maharaj is still curious, when will Sukadev Goswami tell me about Lord Krishna? So he pushes, or he requests Sukadeva Goswami is saying, like, I know you know that I'm not been eating anything and I've been fasting, but does not mean I'm weak or anything like that. I'm still very eager to hear the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So the 10th canto begins with almost 13, 14 shlokas. So where Parikshit Maharaj is requesting Krishna, requesting Sukadeva Goswami to tell him the stories of Krishna. And tell me the stories of Krishna, not like the way you told me the other stories. I want to understand this in detail. I want to understand this story of Krishna in detail. The man who helped my grandparents, the Arjuna and Pandavas, basically, to realize their life and so on. So I want this story to be told a lot more detail. This is what basically Parishar Maharaj is in the transformative mode, and he wants to listen even more and more about Lord Krishna. So he understands, like, listening about Krishna, learning about Krishna, or transforming his life by hearing Lord's pastimes is the best medicine for him at that stage of life, basically, right? Normally, when you take medicine to get yourself purified, and here Parikshit Maharaj is taking spiritual medicine, basically. But medicine is normally bitter. But normally, when you take medicine, it's not very comfortable. But in spiritual medicine is always comfortable. Basically, the stories of Lord are a lot more. It's just not medicinal to the heart, medicinal to the soul. It's not just purifying to the heart and soul, but it's also what do you call it, so nectarian to listen. It cleans your ears, is what in one of the shloka Parikshit Maharaj says. This is like medicine, but this medicine is what is needed for human life, basically, for understanding how one should lead and how should end his life, basically. So the 10th canto itself is primarily divided into three portions. The first 30 chapters are like, Vrajalila, and then Madhura Leela and Dwaraka Leela. We are in the Madhura, Vrajalila, basically. We're still in the beginning. In the second chapter. The first four chapters of this canto is more Brahma's prayers and the Lord himself taking form on the face of the earth, basically. Lord's avatarana, basically Lord's appearance is what is described in the first four chapters. So we have seen the first chapter, basically, more an introduction, and then how Devatas go and request Mahavishnu, and then Vishnu then tells, like, Lord Krishna is going to come to the earth in the form. He himself is going to be born in Vrindavan, basically, to take care of the situation on the earth, basically. Then the Devatas are very happy, and then they decide how they should serve the Lord, how they should come even before the Lord comes, and you'll start seeing all the Devatas coming to the earth in one or other forms to serve the Lord, basically, to make his life, make his appearance and his pastimes as much nectarian as possible, and as and make the things very comfortable for Lord Krishna himself. So then we also see the story of Kamsa and his wonderful, lovely sister Devaki, and how Kamsa gets his sister married to Vasudeva, and then there is this Akaswani warning to Kamsa, basically, that Kamsa, this so beloved sister of yours is going to bear the child that's going to kill you, basically. So there's a prophecy that is heard, and then Kamsa immediately reacts to that prophecy, and then he tries to kill his own sister, basically. Then Vasudeva convinces Kamsa, saying, like, killing a woman is not the right thing for a king like Kamsa. Instead, Vasudeva promises to give all the children that are born by his wife, so that he should not be worried about he being killed by her child, basically. So then Kamsa, to some extent, is convinced, and then he again tells philosophy, and then there is a lot of philosophical exchange that death is certain and one should not be worried, and all that kind of discussion happens, right? Was between Vasudeva and Kamsa. So it only tells us basically the mood of a man based on the circumstances, how people change with situation. And then Kamsa spares all the Vasudeva's children, 6 children, and then Narada Muni tells Kamsa, like, there is the whole Devata's plan set up to care to see end of Kamsa basically, and then Kamsa reacts, and then he kills the 6 children of whom Devaki Devi and Vasudeva. So that's where the chapter 1 ends. And today we will be entering into chapter 2. The prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna in the womb of Devaki Devi. So as Lord descends, or Lord enters um, this Brahmanda, this world, this materialistic world, and into Devaki Devi's womb, then the demigods prayers for the Lord. Basically, even for demigods, it is not very easy to see the what do you call it, the opulences of the Lord. Basically, um, they are also part of this Brahmanda, and God and the Lord Krishna is outside of this Brahmanda. Basically, even for them, it's a rare opportunity to get associated with the Lord and serve the Lord when He is there in their neighborhood. Basically, from Swargaloka to Guloka is like their neighborhood, basically, right? And when Lord is coming to Bhuloka, then whoever, then they send, in one of the classes we discussed how the representation of Yama comes to serve the Lord in the form of Dharmaraj, how the representation of Indra comes to serve the Lord in the form of Arjuna, how the representation of Vayu comes to serve the Lord in names of Bhima, and like that we have seen the whole list of representation of the law of Devatas coming and serving the Lord. So they were all anticipating, waiting to serve the Lord for multiple reasons, basically. I mean, waiting for the appearance of the Lord for multiple reasons. One is because Lord has promised them that He'll come and take care of the atrocities of Kamsa. That's one aspect. Then the other aspect is it's a rare opportunity for them to come close and serve the Lord, or come and see the what do you call it, all the pastimes of the Lord, basically, right? So then the first 5 shlokas talk about Kamsa's atrocities, and then next 6 to 15 shloka talks about the Lord's orders to Yogamaya. And we know the story. We know the story how Krishna, how Balaram becomes the seventh child, seventh conceivement of Devaki is Balaram, and eighth conceivement is Lord Krishna. The Ashtagarbha is Krishna, and basically, like, the Lord is going to reside, or going to stay in Devaki's womb for a while, basically. So our Lord is going to that's going to be His office or His place of stay, basically. And Lord actually is in the form of Vishnu. He's on the he when he's in the form of Vishnu, he rests on Ananta Seshu, basically. Or Ananta Seshu uh, takes the responsibility of making sure the Lord is comfortable at His place, basically, right? That's the reason why the Ananta Seshu, or the Balaram Sankarshan, comes and takes care of the place that Lord is going to come and stay, basically. That's Devaki's womb. So he is the Sodara of Devaki Devi, basically, right? Sodara means somebody who shares the Udara is Sodara. So he comes to clean the Udara of Devaki Devi as the seventh child, and that's what the scriptures and the acharyas have mentioned. The reason why Baldev has come, and to make sure Lord is going to be comfortable in the womb of Devaki Devi when He starts to appear. So the scope of our discussion today is pretty much from 1 to 15 shlokas, basically. So we are not, honestly, we are not going to see Krishna's entering, into Devaki Devi's womb today. So we are only setting the stage, or how the circumstances, how the situation at what do you call it, at ground zero on T-2 day or T-3 dates, basically. When the big day comes, how things are, basically, right? Every element of every aspect of that big day will be managed, monitored, and analyzed, and making sure things go in the right as per plan, and so on and so forth, basically. So we are discussing today the just the days before Krishna Bhagwan enters Devaki's womb, basically. So having said that, let's get to the 1 to 15 shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 2, first shloka, right? These shlokas in this format here. Right. So let me just open my book too. Any questions so far of the summary that is given in front of the chapter? I try to read some of the summary, basically, right? Because that's relevant to today's discussion. So the first two shlokas of today's discussion. Anybody wants to read these shlokas for me?
Krishna, Sundar Keshav Prabhu ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Yeah, you want me to do?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, so much.
Thank you. Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Sri Sukha Uvacha Pralamba Bakachanura Trinavarta Mahasanai Mustikarista Divida Putana Keshidhenuka Anyaschasura Bhupalair Bana Baumadibhiryuta Yadunam Kadanam Chakre Bali Magada Samshraya. Translation, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami said, under the protection of Magadha Raja Jarasandha, the powerful Kamsa began persecuting the kings of the Yadu dynasty. In this, he had the cooperation of demons like Pralamba, Baka, Chanora, Trunavarta, Aghasura, Mustika, Arista, Dvivida, Putana, Keshi, Dhenuka, Banasura, Narakasura, and many other demoniac kings on the surface of the earth. Very nice. One sloka, one sloka giving all the important.
Yes, Prabhu. So sometimes, we like to read the nice stories, but sometimes we also have to read this kind of people stories also. So I don't know if you remember when we were kids, like not 10th grade, 11th grade, when you depart from school, we used to write something called autograph books. Everybody used to get it signed by people, right? I don't know if anyone of you have done those things. One of my principal in my notebook, he wrote, if you ever get a chance to read a book on how to pickpocket, I want you to read, not because I want you to practice, but I want you to, so that you can avoid how your pocket is being picked by somebody. Like that, I like that Kamsa story. When I was reading this, I thought, we need to read Kamsa story also, just to understand, not want to be like Kamsa, basically. So some people teach how to be, and some people teach how not to be, basically. So when you see these names that he is surrounded with, and the shelter he is taking under the protection of Jarasandha, so we all know that what kind of people these are. Magadharaja is Kamsa's father-in-law, basically. Jarasandha is father-in-law of Kamsa. So see the kind of people he is surrendered with. And what is the activity he's doing? He's persecuting the kings of Yadu dynasty. He's got only one goal, basically, to kill the Yadu dynasty, to destroy Yadu dynasty. When that goal is like that, this is the kind of people he gets to surrender with. We always say, right, when you judge 5 of your friends, you are average of the 5 people. But that's at a different plane. But here this is a leader, and the kind of people that leader has chosen to be surrounded with, basically. So when a leader chooses to be surrounded with this kind of people, what kind of activity that is going to happen there? You see what I'm saying, Prabhuji Mataji? So at a friendly level, one can avoid staying with this kind of company. But when this company is being dictated by leader, so when you are surrounded or when you have chosen to be surrounded by this kind of people, then there is nobody to guide you in the right direction, but to guide you in the direction you want to be guided, basically. So they're all there to tell Kamsa what you're doing is right. Nobody is dare enough to tell Kamsa that what you're doing is wrong, basically. So when personal agendas take over in leadership positions, this is what happens. And we have seen that how modern democratic governments are thrown out when personal agendas take over and they are surrendered by the people that support their personal agenda in the name of taking care of people. So leaders are meant to take care of people. Instead, here comes as a personal agenda to save himself. And he has a personal agenda to save himself. Anybody who tells something else is an enemy, basically. He is a representation of Yadu dynasty, friend of Yadu people, basically. So what do people do? They just speak his language. And only people that can speak his language get surrendered by, basically. Right? So that's what is defined in this shloka. So what does that mean to us? When we get into leadership roles, it is important how you keep your personal agendas away. If you keep your personal agendas because of the power you have, this is what is going to happen. You will be invariably surrendered by the people that support your personal agenda is the right thing. And that makes you blind. You'll be blinded, basically blinded with the it starts with your power and then it gets blind. That's what happened in Ravana. There's only one man that said no, Vibhishana. Similarly here you have one man saying, like, you'll see in further shlokas, Akrura, who is living with Kamsa but waiting for Krishna's arrival. So there is that good man whose mouth is shut. That man is simply waiting for to help the other side. That's what happened. Vibhishana, basically, he was just waiting for Rama to come. The moment when Hanuman has come, he said, this is the right time to call Ravana. Tell Ravana, this is not right, and what you are doing is wrong, and then move out, basically. Right. So this is something we should keep in mind if ever when we get into this kind of leadership positions, basically. So then let's get to the purport. Here, this verse supports the following statement given by Lord in Bhagavad Gita 4.7 and 8. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyudhana dharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapadhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. The Lord's purpose in maintaining this material world is to give everyone a chance to go back home, back to Godhead. But kings and political leaders unfortunately try to hinder the purpose of Lord, and therefore the Lord appears either personally or with his plenary portions to set things right. It is therefore said. Then the shloka comes. So basically, see, this is exactly what we just talked about, right? This is what when politicians and the leaders distract themselves and not protect the religion, not protect the purpose of life, not protect the purpose of their position, to encourage people to go back to the Lord, go back to the Godhead. And if they're not able to do that, God says, I am here to come and take care of this. Garbham samcharya rohinyam devakya yogamayaya tasya kukshim gata Krishno Tvitiyo Vibhudai Stutaha. Krishna appears in the womb of Devaki after transferring Baladeva to womb of Rohini by the power of Yoga Maya. Yadubhisa Vyarudhyataha. The king of Yadu dynasty were all devotees, but there were many powerful demons, such as Salva, who began to persecute them. At that time, Jarasandha, who was Kamsa's father-in-law, was extremely powerful, and therefore Kamsa took advantage of his protection and the help of the demons in persecuting the kings of Yadu dynasty. The demons naturally appeared more powerful than the demigods, but ultimately, because of help received from Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demons were defeated and the demigods triumphed. So what happens when the demonic thoughts, when leaders put their personal agenda in front of their natural responsibility, then Sanatana Dharma, protecting Sanatana Dharma is their natural responsibility of a leader. And when he fails to do that, he becomes even more demonic, and he gets all the strength of demonic personalities, basically. And so much so the demonic personalities are much stronger than devatas at any given point of time, which means the bad is always bigger than the good. The bad is always powerful than the good, but the only way good can win is not because it's good. Good gets the support of the Lord. See, the bad can win just on its own, but good needs the support of the Lord. The personality, because of help received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, demons were defeated and demigods triumphed. So that's the only reason how the demigods or the devatas win. That's the only how goodness will win over badness. Goodness will not win over badness because it is good or because of its own nature. Goodness attracts Lord. Goodness has, so as part of being good and part of being goodness, you have to surrender to the Lord. Only then you can win over the demonic mentalities in life, basically. Right? So this is what I thought the basic story of Kamsa, the thought process of any demonic king, has to help us understand our own struggle in our minds between the demonic mentality and the Devata mentality, or the good mentality, basically. And that we have seen again and again, even in Ksheerasagar Madana, where the how the Devatas win with the help of Lord. While demons are more powerful, that they are even powerful enough to stay on the head side of the Vasuki compared to Devatas. So at any point, goodness on its own cannot be of great until it is nourished by the surrender to Lord and the help of Lord. Only then you can win over the bad, get a victory over the demonic mentality or demonic side of our own self, basically. Hare Krishna. So with that, shall we go to the next shloka? Shloka number 3.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll read.
Chalo number. Yes.
Te pidita vivishesho guru panchala kekeyan shalvan vidarbhan nishadhan vidhihan purusalanapi. Translation sent forward by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Persecuted by the demoniac kings, the Yadavas left their own kingdom and entered various others, like those of the Kurus, Panchalas, Kekayas, Shalvas, Vidarbhas, Nishadhas, Vedihas, and Koshalas.
Right. So, because of the demonic king, the Yadavas, probably they can fight. Sometimes the Yadavas, maybe they can fight or might not be able to fight. But then they realize they want to keep themselves as far as possible from Kamsa. So they have taken shelter in different other kingdoms, basically. The Yadavas also has the responsibility of staying alive to serve the Lord basically. So they are just all waiting for the Lord's arrival, and so they are taking the pain by moving away from where they are, to be ready to invite or welcome the Lord basically. 4-5. Somebody wants to read the 4-5 shlokas?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yes, Mother.
Nobody is reading that.
I'll read.
Akinchan Prabhu, Dandatmana Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. एकेतम् अनुरुन्धना एकेतम् अरुन्धना ज्ञानात्या पर्युपासते हतेषु सत्सु बालेषु देवाख्या अनुग्रहसेनिया सेनिना सप्तमो वैष्णवं धाम यम् अनन्तं प्रचक्षते गर्भो बभूव देवक्या हर्षशोका विवर्धनः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Some of their relatives, however, began to follow Kamsa's principle and act in his service. After Kamsa, the son of Ugrasena, killed the 6 sons of Devaki, a plenary portion of Krishna entered her womb as her 7th child, arousing her pleasure and her lamentation. That plenary portion is celebrated by the great sages as Ananta, who belongs to Krishna's second quadruple expansion. Purport. Some of the chief devotees, such as Akrura, stayed with Kamsa to satisfy him. These they did for various purposes. They all expected the Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear as the 8th child as soon as the Devaki's other child was killed by Kamsa, and they were eagerly awaiting his appearance. By remaining in Kamsa's association, they would be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead take birth and display his childhood pastimes, and Akrura would later go to the Vrindavan to bring Kamsa and Balrama to
And
Mathura.
Bring Krishna and Balram.
The word Paryupasate is significant because it indicates that some devotees wanted to stay near Kamsa in order to see all the pastimes of the Lord. The 6 children killed by the Kamsa had formerly been sons of Marichi, but because of having been cursed by the Brahmana, they were obliged to take the birth of grandsons of Hiranyakashipu. Kamsa had taken the birth as Kalanivi, and now he is obliged to kill his own sons. This was a mystery. As soon as the sons of Devaki were killed, they would return to the original place. The devotees wanted to see this also. Generally speaking, no one kills his own nephews, but Kamsa was so cruel that he did so without hesitation. Ananta Sankarshana belongs to the second Chaturvyuha, or quadruple expansion. This is the opinion of experienced commentators. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So here we are talking about still how the leaders Kamsa and his setup is basically. So some of the relatives, however, began to follow Kamsa's principles and act in his service. So there are some people that left Kamsa, or some people aligned with Kamsa basically. So and then some other people like Akrura is living with Kamsa to 100% satisfying him or not, but his main agenda or his main goal is to be able to be the first hand, see the Lord's appearance and to see his pastimes personally. But he knows that Kamsa's time has come, and then the Lord is going to come here, basically. Then Kamsa kills Devaki's six sons, basically, and brutally killing them, basically. Uh, when he killed those six sons, and it's all out of fear. It's all out of one goal to live at any cost, basically. So the fear can make you do anything. Fear can make you so blind that you even go and kill your own nephews, basically. So Kamsa is described as personification of fear, while Devaki is mentioned as personification of bhakti, basically. So Ananta is described as a personification of prema, basically the service that he is doing for Lord, basically, to come and make sure the Lord is comfortable when he comes. So when there is prema and bhakti, where there's prema and bhakti, that's where Lord comes, basically. And what it only means is when you have inculcated the habits of bhakti, prema versus fear, what happens, basically when you inculcate the habits of fear, um, you are distracting yourself from the track of bhakti. You're distracting yourself from the track of the purpose of the vision or the purpose which Lord sent us or gave this opportunity to be born as human being. And all that, the opportunity that you have as a leader, the opportunity that you have, the responsibility that you have as a leader, all that is blinded by only one thing: fear for your life, basically. So much of deha bhava, basically, right? That can take you to any extent. Any extent is what we see in this shloka. The six children killed by Kamsa had formerly been the sons of Marichi, but because of having been crushed by Brahmana, they were obliged to take birth as grandsons of Hiranyakashipu. Kamsa has taken birth as Kalanemi, and now he was obliged to kill his own sons. This was a mystery. Anyway, so as soon as the sons of Devaki were killed, they would return to their original place. So again, this is arrangement of Lord to fulfill or an opportunity to fulfill your karmic or burn some of your karma, basically, and that's the reason why they have to um, take birth and be killed, basically. Again, that does not justify the acts of Kamsa. We cannot say it's because of their karma they had to be killed by me. It's because of their karma I'm acting like this. That cannot be justified by Kamsa or any leader, for that matter of fact. Yes, by their karma they have to be killed, but you have chosen to be that person doing that act. And if you are not, and if you, with your own intelligence and free will, if you have decided to keep away from it, then God might make some other arrangement to fulfill their karmic obligation. But you don't have to become an instrument of, and by no means these kind of acts are justified, basically. But Kamsa was so cruel that he did so without hesitation. So he did so without hesitation. Why would anybody do such acts without any hesitation? Because of that Dehabhava fear that he will lose his own body, basically. This is what makes us do what we do on daily basis. So we forget that some of our acts are so cruel and we are doing them without any hesitation, because the underlying factor is wanting to feel secure, wanting to feel away from that fear. So we are taking shelter to keep ourselves intact, or to win over our fear by doing certain cruel things which we do not even acknowledge or even think that that's a cruel act in itself, basically, because that's protecting me and my family, and I have the right to protect my family. These are all different ways of sense gratification, basically. Those are all different ways of things doing in the name of right thing, in the name of social order, in the name of protecting myself, in the name of what you call it, Atmarakshana, and these are all God doesn't appreciate. God doesn't appreciate, because they're all coming from one factor, one function. The underlying factor is fear. Fear of not possessing, fear of losing what you possess, basically. So that makes us take shelter of our power, our free will in the wrong direction. That is when, if we can surrender to the Lord, that is when we can, those are the situations, if they can ignite that Brahma Bhakti in us, that's the best thing that could ever happen in our lives, basically. And that happens only when you have come, or you have recognized the Guru in your life. When you have recognized that Sankarsana, or that Baladeva, who comes before the Lord himself. When the Lord comes as the eighth child, Sankarsana comes even before the Lord. The Guru comes even before you get connected to the Lord, basically. When you shall take the shelter of Guru, that Guru who is the representation of Baladeva, then you have the opportunity, because the Guru here is coming and making sure, helping you set the stage or set the transformative change in you, that Lord, your heart is ready to welcome Lord. That's what the whole association of Diksha is all about. The Guru is giving you Diksha, telling you that, he's the representation of Baladeva, telling you that, take this opportunity to purify and to make your heart the seat where Lord can come and sit, basically. That's what we have seen in Baladeva coming as the seventh child of Devaki Devi before the Lord himself comes in, basically, right? With that, we'll go to the next shloka, shloka number 6. Hare Krishna. Somebody wants to read shloka number 6?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Bhagavanapि Vishwatma Viditva Kamsajam Vayam Yadunam Nijanadanam Yogamayam Samadhishat. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. To protect the Yadus, his personal devotees, from Kamsa attack, the personality of Godhead Vishwatma, the supreme soul of everyone, ordered Yogamaya as follows. Hare Krishna.
To protect the Yadus, his personal devotees. So Yadus are here to take care of, our Yaduvamsha is here to take care of Lord when he comes to the uh, planet, basically, right? The personality, Godhead, the Viswatma. So here the word used is Vishwaatma, to protect the Yadus. So he understands the hearts of Yadus, his personal devotees. How does he understand the hearts of the Yadus? Because he is Viswaatma, the supreme soul of everyone, ordered Yogamaya as follows. So devotional as the transformative change I'm trying to bring in me, the transformative or the devotional bhakti prema I'm trying to inculcate in me, is God noticing? Yes, God is always noticing, because God is Vishwa Atma. He is more powerful than your own Atma. So when Vishwa Atma means he knows the life and the story and the thinking and the details of each and every Atma. That is Vishwatma, basically, because he's the supreme personality of the God, of the Godhead. So let's try to go into the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The words Bhagavan api Vishwatma viditya kamsajam bhayam are commented upon by Srila Sanatana Goswami in Bhagavan Swayam is Krishna. Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. He is Viswatma, the original super soul of everyone, because his plenary portions expand as super soul. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, that 13.3. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Lord Krishna is the Kshetrajna, or super soul of all living entities. He is the original source of all expansions of the personality of Godhead. There are hundreds and thousands of plenary expansions of Vishnu, such as Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Niruddha, and Vasudeva, but here in this material world, the Viswatma, the super soul for all living entities, is Kshirodaksai Vishnu, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.61. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrude Sajjana Tishtati. The Supreme Lord is situated in the heart of all living entities. O Arjuna, Krishna is actually Vishwatma by his plenary expansion as Vishnu Tattva. Yet, because of his affection for his devotees, he acts as super soul to give them directions. So, what kind of direction? Sarvasya chaham hruddhi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apoham cha. So he is the one who gives you the direction by helping you think in the right way when you actually surrender to him, basically. So when you are not willing to listen to him, he is willing to listen to you, basically. I mean, he lets you to do what you want to do, basically. That's the freedom we always enjoy, right? So the affairs of Super Soul pertain to Chirodaksai Vishnu, but Krishna took compassion on Devaki, his devotee, because he understood her fear of Kamsa's persecution. A pure devotee is always fearful of material existence. No one knows what will happen next, for one may have to change his body at any moment. Knowing this fact, a pure devotee acts in such a way that he will not have his life spoiled by being obliged to accept another body and undergo the tribulations of material existence. This is bhayam or fear. So this is what we all live in, basically. Bhayam dvitiya abhinivesatah syat. This fear is due to material existence. This fear is due to material existence. Properly speaking, everyone should always be alert and fearful of material existence, but although everyone is prone to be affected by the ignorance of material existence, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna always is always alerted to the protection of his devotees, basically, right? So this is what our lives are full of. The fear in materialistic world. A person, there's nothing wrong to be fearful of materialistic world. In fact, a person has to be fearful of materialistic world. Is that fear making you more defensive or offensive or more shelter seeking, basically? So these are the choices we have. So in fear, people don't do anything. In fear, people become offensive, try to take control of everything. In fear, those people who understand the actual source of the fear and realize that the only way to get out of the fear is to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Lord of Godhead. Basically, that's what Parikshit Maharaj did. Basically, he had a situation. He'll be dying in 7 days. Is he fearful of it? No, he was like, I mean, for an instant, he might have thought, oh, this of the of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then God Himself has come in support of him, and by sending Sukadev Goswami, and forever Parikshit Maharaj's name has been written in history, and that we all study even to date, basically, right? So this is how you have to. The material world, material existence gives you an opportunity to turn towards Lord on every day, on daily basis. On daily basis, it gives you an opportunity to turn towards Lord. Instead, we turn towards ourselves and do a lot more planning, lot more thinking, lot more doing that, lot more doing this, basically. And in the process, you should also surrender to Lord. If you are not able to do that, then that fear um, will only bring out the demonic personality hiding in each one of us. And once the demonic personality comes out, that is where you see the male egoism taking over families, the power egoism taking over the followers, in leaders basically. So these comes out of the fear not surrendering to Lord, the fear not helping you to surrender to the Lord. If fear is not helping you to surrender to the Lord, the fear can go to any extent of staying against Lord. So this is something we should all be careful about, right? So Krishna is so kind and affectionate towards his devotees that he helps them by giving them the intelligence by which to exist in this material world without forgetting him, even for the moment. So what does the Lord say in Bhagavad Gita 10.11? तेषामेवनु तेषामेवनु कंपद्दमाह ज्ञानजं तमः नासा नासायं युत्मभावोऽस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वतः. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born out of ignorance. See how God is saying clearly. He's giving so much assurance. He's giving so much assurance. So this is kind of law of surrender. The once you surrender, what Lord is going to do, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So so this is why we should sometimes we should be happy about the fear if it is helping you to turn towards Lord. Yes, the fear is the right thing that should happen to us. The word yoga means link. Any system of yoga is an attempt to reconnect our broken relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are different types of yoga, of which Bhakti Yoga is best. In other yoga systems, one must undergo various processes before attaining perfection. But Bhakti Yoga is direct. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, योगिनामापि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मनः श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ततमो मतः. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. For the Bhakti Yogi, a human body is guaranteed in the next existence. For a Bhakti Yogi, a human body is guaranteed in the next existence, as stated by Lord Krishna. Again, Suchi Nam Srimatam Ka Gehe Yoga Brashta Bhijayate. Yoga Maya is the spiritual potency of the Lord. Out of affection for his devotees, the Lord always stays in spiritual touch with them. Although otherwise, his Maya potency is so strong that she bewilders even exalted demigods like Brahma. Therefore, Lord's potency is called Yoga Maya. Since the Lord is Vishwatma, he immediately ordered Yoga Maya to give protection to Devaki Devi. Hare Krishna. See how Lord protects his devotees. Especially the devotee is filled with bhakti. When the devotee was able to convert fear into bhakti and taking shelter of bhakti and defeating the fear, the Lord is definitely there to protect and help the situation. Either he himself or he sent, in this case, Yogamaya to take care of Devaki Devi. Hare Krishna. 7th sloka. Somebody wants to read 7th?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'll read.
Okay, ma.
गच्छ देवी व्रजं भद्रे गोपगोपीरलङ्कृतं रोहिणी वासुदेवस्य वर्तस्यानन्दगोकुले अन्याश्च कंससंविघ्न विवरेषु वसन्ति हे. Translation said by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: The Lord ordered Yoga Maya, O my potency, who are worshipable for the entire world and whose nature is to bestow good fortune upon all living entities, go to Vraja, where there live many cowherd men and their wives. In that very beautiful land where many cows reside, Rohini, the wife of Vasudeva, is living at the home of Nanda Maharaj. Other wives of Vasudeva are also living there incognito because of the fear of Kamsa. Please go there. Purport: Nanda Gokula, the residence of King Nanda, was itself very beautiful, and when Yogamaya was ordered to go there and encourage the devotees with fearlessness, it became even more beautiful and safe. Because Yogamaya had the ability to create such an atmosphere, the Lord ordered her to go to Nanda Gokula. Hare Krishna.
So Nanda Gokula, the Lord ordered Yogamaya to go there. Nanda Gokula, the residence of King Nanda, was itself very beautiful. And when Yogamaya was ordered to go there and encourage the devotees with fearlessness, it became even more beautiful and safe. Because Yogamaya had the ability to create such an atmosphere, the Lord ordered her to go to Nanda Gokula. So this is what happens. In this case, Yogamaya has come on the order of the Lord. When the orders of the Lord, in the order of the Lord, when his devotees come, they can make any place as Nanda Gokula. And Nanda Gokula is already beautiful, but when devotees of Lord have come for purpose, so that becomes even more beautiful. So this is what Guru can do to your life when Lord sends, when Guru um, to nourish or to help to build on your bhakti, then this is your life becomes even more beautiful because of Lord's mercy is coming through the Guru, basically, right? Or his messenger. Shloka 8. Somebody wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I want to read Prabhuji.
Read Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandatmana Mataji. Sukiti Mataji.
देवक्या जाथरे गर्भं शेषाख्यं धाम मामकं तत्सन्निकृष्य रोहिण्या udare sanniveshaya. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Devaki is my partial plenary expansion known as Sankarshana or Shesha. Without difficulty, transfer him into the womb of Rohini. Should I read purport also,
Yes,
Prabhuji?
yes, Mataji. Read a little bit of purport, yes.
The first plenary expansion of Krishna is Baladeva, also known as Shesha. The Shesha incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead supports the entire universe. And the eternal mother of this incarnation is Mother Rohini. Because I am going into the womb of Devaki, the Lord told Yogamaya, the Shesha incarnation has already gone there and made suitable arrangements so that I may live there. Now he should enter the womb of Rohini, his eternal mother.
Hare Krishna. So again, Krishna is telling to Yogamaya, right? The purport is explaining us basically the purpose of Sesha, the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead itself again. The Sesha form of the expansion of Lord, again, Baladeva comes and stays in the womb of Devaki Devi. And that purpose is served now that the purpose is served. You should take Baladeva and move him to his eternal mother, the womb of Rohini Devi, right? All right, so let's continue to read. In this connection, one may ask how Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always situated transcendentally, could enter the womb of Devaki, which had previously been entered by 6 asuras, the Sad Garbhas. Does this mean that the Sad Garbhasuras were equal to the transcendental body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The following answer is given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. The entire creation, as well as its individual parts, is an expansion of energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, even the Lord enters the material world, he does not do so. This is explained by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 9.4 and 5. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina matsthani sarvabhutani na chaham tveshavastitaha na cha matsthani bhutani pasya me yogamaishwaram bhutabhatnacha bhutosta Mahatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence, although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, myself is the very source of creation. Sarvam, Sarvam Idam Brahma. Everything is an expansion of Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet everything is not the Supreme Godhead, and He is not everywhere. Everything rests upon Him, and yet does not rest upon Him. This can be explained only through Achintya Abheda Vedatva philosophy. Such truths cannot be understood, however, unless one is a pure devotee. And for this, Lord says in 18.55 shloka, Bhaktyamabhijanati Bhaktyanabijanati Yavanyasmi Tattvatah. One can understand the Supreme Personality as He is only by devotional service. Even though the Lord cannot be understood by ordinary persons, this principle should be understood from the statement of Shastras. A pure devotee is always transcendentally situated of executing 9 different processes of Bhakti Yoga. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasavanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dhasyam, Sakyam, Atmanived. This thus situated in a devotional service, a devotee, although in the material world, is not in the material world, yet a devotee always fears, because I am associated with the material world, so many contaminations are affecting me. Therefore, he is always alert in the fear, which gradually diminishes his material association. So are we supposed to be fearful of things? Yes. To what extent? To the extent that fear is helping us to take shelter, to the extent that we should be fearful that the materialistic world is always so what you call powerful, that you might lose your taste for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those are the things you should be fearful of, but not fearful of the different elements of materialistic world in its of themselves, basically. So understand the materialistic world, understand the nature of materialistic world. And the reason why you should understand is so that you don't want to be fearful of them. You should understand that we are all going to die one day. You should understand that that there's nothing can be done about death, but that fear should help you not to be fearful of death, but to be surrendering to the Supreme Personality of the Lord, basically, right? That's what that fear should help us. If you're not able to nourish or converge that fear into Bhakti Yoga, then that fear is not serving its purpose. Only when you're able to convert that fear created by Maya, then you're under the blessings of Yoga Maya, right? So that's the subtle barrier between Maya and Yoga Maya is where your freedom or independence is all about, basically, right? Hare Krishna. Let's read the last paragraph of this purport also. Can somebody wants to read this paragraph for me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhuji. Symbolically, Mother Devaki's constant fear of Kamsa was purifying her. A pure devotee should always fear material association. And in this way, all the asuras of material association will be killed, as the Shad Garbhasuras were killed by Kamsa. It is said that from the mind, Marichi appears. In other words, Marichi is an incarnation of the mind. Marichi has 6 sons: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mascharya, lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, envy. The Supreme Personality of God appears in pure devotional service. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Bhaktair evainam darshayati. Only bhakti can bring one in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of God appeared from the womb of Devaki, and therefore Devaki symbolically represents bhakti, and Kamsa symbolically represents material fear. When a pure devotee always fears material association, his real position of bhakti is manifested, and he naturally becomes uninterested in material enjoyment. When the 6 sons of Marichi are killed by such fear, and one is freed from material contamination, within the womb of bhakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears. Thus, the seventh pregnancy of Devaki signifies the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After the 6 sons Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya are killed, the Shesha incarnation creates a suitable situation for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, when one awakens his natural Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna appears. This is the explanation given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So reading it wonderfully. So, the way you read it, really, really explained the whole thing. When that fear is, Prabhu?
Thank you for the opportunity to read. First time I know Marichi sons, Kama,
Yeah.
Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Marichi sons.
Those are the things. When you kill those 6 elements in your mind, and the mind is cleansed then only the Guru comes into your life, and the mind is cleansed by the presence of Sankarshan or Sesha. And then the transformation takes place. Then you are situated are fixated in Bhakti Yoga. Then Krishna takes over you, basically, takes over your life and takes over your fear, basically. At that point of time, the only fear you should worry about is losing him, not the fear of materialistic world. Right? I mean, this is subtle and clear, right, Prabhu? I mean, right? Or you want to explain it in any different way, Prabhu? No. Shiva, I mean, Girda.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. 6 enemies and matladam, 6 enemies, right? 6
Right.
enemies in our heart. How to how get rid of this deep dust layer in the heart,
Right.
Cheto Darpana, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instruction, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, by chanting regularly,
Yes.
sincerely, sincerely, attentively.
Yes, Prabhu.
It will go away.
So,
Thank you so much.
thank you, Prabhu. So for us, it looks like a superficial storyline. Bhagavatam, especially 10th canto, is nice as a story, but every piece of it has the philosophy to transform ourselves. Every piece of it, every character, every element of it is so much so important that should put us in Bhakti Yoga, that should give us that connection with Supreme Personality of Godhead, basically. Right? Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Somebody wants to read the 9th shloka. So we have another 6 shloka. Let's try to go a little fast. Hare Krishna. Now we'll just go to the purport. Translation. O all auspicious Yogamaya, I shall then appear with my full 6 opulences as son of Devaki, and you will appear as the daughter of Mother Yashoda, the queen of Maharaj Nanda. Again. So again here Krishna is giving more instruction to Yogamaya, basically. So you should go and become the daughter of Nanda Maharaj, basically. You will appear in the, so I shall appear with my all opulences, my 6 opulences, and then you should go and be the daughter of Nanda Maharaj, basically. Again, here, the purport by Srila Prabhupada talks about Amsabhagena. The word Amsabhagena is important in this verse. So again, in Bhagavad Gita, reference to Bhagavad Gita 10.2 shloka is what here Prabhupada is giving. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I prevail and support this entire universe. Everything is situated as part of Supreme Lord's potency. In regard to Lord Krishna's appearance in the womb of Devaki, Brahma played a part also because on the bank of the milk ocean, he requested Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear. As a part was also played by Baladeva, the first expansion of Godhead. Similarly, Yogamaya, who appeared as daughter of Mother Yasoda, also played a part. Thus, Jiva Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, and Shakti Tattva are all integrated with Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when Krishna appears, he appears with all his integral parts, as explained in previous verses. Yogamaya was requested to attract Sankarshana, Baladeva, uh, from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And this was a very heavy task for her. Yogamaya naturally could not see how it was possible for her to attract Sankarshana. Therefore, Krishna addressed her as Shubhe, auspicious, and said, "Be blessed, take power from me, and you will be able to do so." By the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead, anyone can do anything, for the Lord is present in everything, all things being his parts and parcels, and increasing or decreasing by his supreme will. Balarama was only 15 days older than Krishna. By the blessings of Krishna, Yogamaya became the daughter of Mother Yashoda, but by the supreme will, she was not able to enjoy the parental love of the father and mother. Krishna, however, although not actually born from the womb of Mother Yashoda, enjoyed the parental love of Mother Yashoda and Nanda. By the blessings of Krishna, Yogamaya was also able to achieve the reputation of being the daughter of Mother Yashoda, who also became the famous by blessings of Krishna. Yashoda means one who gives fame, basically. Hare Krishna. Again, but Srila Prabhupada explains us that storyline of the how Baladeva and Krishna were born, and how Yogamaya was only playing a small role, basically, and how Yogamaya was able to get the power by the blessings of the Lord. So let's go into the 10th shloka. So, the 10th sloka, by sacrifice of animals, ordinary human beings will worship you gorgeously with various paraphernalia, because you are supreme in fulfilling the material desires of everyone. Again, this is continuation of conversation between Yogamaya and Krishna. Basically, Krishna is giving more benedictions to Yogamaya, telling her, the next three slokas, 10, 11, 12, are about how Krishna is blessing the Yogamaya, basically, and how Yogamaya is become as the goddess of material desires for human beings, of the Jivatmas, basically. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, Kamaistarya Jnanaha Prapadyanta Anya Devataha. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods. Therefore, the word Manushya, meaning human being, here refers to one who does not know the actual goal of life. Such a person wants to enjoy the material world by taking birth in a highly elevated family with the benefits of education, beauty, and immense wealth, which is in the material world, which in this material world are desirable. One who has forgotten the real aim of his life may worship the goddess Durga, Maya Shakti, under various names for different purposes and in different places. And there are many holy places for worship of Krishna. There are also many holy places in India for the worship of Durga Devi or Maya Devi, who took birth as daughter of Yasoda. After cheating Kamsa, Maya Devi dispersed herself to various places, especially in Vindhyachala, to accept regular worship from ordinary men. A human being should actually be interested in understanding Atma Tattva, the truth of Atma, the spirit soul, and Paramatma, the supreme soul. Those who are interested in Atma Tattva worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, as explained in the next verse in the chapter, those who cannot understand the Atma Tattva, they worship Yogamaya in different features. So again, as mentioned in Bhagavatam, so when you cannot understand the Atma Tattva, you become worshipper of Yogamaya. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society. O Emperor, those who are interested in remaining in this material world and are not interested in spiritual salvation have many duties. But for one who is interested in spiritual salvation, the only duty is to surrender fully unto Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. Such a person is not interested.
లేదు మనం తీసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోదాం, మళ్ళీ నాకు వెళ్ళాల్సి వస్తుంది కదా,
Hare Krishna. So,
లగేజ్ తో పట్టుకొని తిరగడం ఎందుకు?
may you mute? Thank you, Prabhu. 11th and 12th shloka. Somebody wants to read 11 and 12? Purport? Translation. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translate. Go ahead, Prabhu. Translation. Lord Krishna blessed Maya Devi by saying, in different places on the surface of the earth, people will give you different names, such as Durga, Bhadrakali, Vidya, Vaishnavi, Kumuda, Chandika, Krishna, Madhavi, Kanya, Maya, Narayani, Ishani, Sarada, and Ambika. Read it proper also, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Let's read some part of it because most of it
Okay.
is really describing this.
Hare Krishna. Because Krishna and his energy appeared simultaneously, people have generally formed two groups, the Shaktas and the Vaishnavas. And sometimes there is a rivalry between them. Essentially, those who are interested in material enjoyment are Shaktas, and those interested in spiritual salvation and attaining the spiritual kingdom are Vaishnavas. Because people are generally interested in material enjoyment, they are interested in worshipping Maya Devi, the energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vaishnavas, however, are Sudha Shaktis, Suddha Shaktas, or pure Bhaktas, because the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra indicates worshipping of Supreme Lord energy, Hara. A Vaishnava prays to energy of the Lord for the opportunity to serve the Lord along with his spiritual energy. Thus, Vaishnavas all worship with such deities as Radha Krishna, Sita Rama, Lakshmi Narayana, and Rukmini Dwarakadisha, whereas Durga Shaktas worship material energy under different names. Hare Krishna.
So the next paragraphs explain how Durga Devi is worshipped in different places. In Varanasi she is known as the Durga. In Avanti she is known as Bhadrakali. Again known as Vijaya and Kolhapura. She's also known as Vaishnavi or Mahalakshmi in different places basically. So again, let's because she's a very sincere to her enemies, the Asuras, she's also known as Chandika, and because she gives all sorts of material facilities, she's known as she's called Krishna. In this way, the material energy is differently named and situated in different places on the surface of the globe, basically, right? Hare Krishna. So let's move on to the next shloka, 13th shloka. Yeah. Somebody wants to read the.
Yes, Prabhuji, I will read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The son of Rohini will also be celebrated as Sankarshana because of being sent from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He will be called Rama because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokula, and he will be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength. Purport. There are some of the reasons why Balrama is known as the Sankarshana, Balrama, or sometimes Rama. In the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. People sometimes object when Rama is accepted as Balrama. But although devotees of Lord Rama may object, they should know that there is no difference between Balrama and Lord Rama. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam clearly states that Balrama is also known as Rama, Rameti. Therefore, it is not artificial for us to speak of Lord Balrama as Lord Rama. Jayadeva Goswami also speaks of three Ramas, Parasrama, Raghupati Rama, and Balarama. All of them are Ramas.
Right. So again, so Prabhupada is explaining how Sankarshana, the importance of Balarama and the Baladeva, as because of his physical strength, is called Balabhadra, different names of Baladeva because of his different attributes or qualities. 14th sloka. Somebody wants to read?
Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogamaya immediately agreed. With the Vedic mantra Om, she confirmed that she would do what he asked. Thus, having accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she circumambulated him and started for the place on earth known as Nandagokula. There she did everything just as she had been told. Perfect. After receiving the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogamaya uh, twice confirmed, uh, twice confirmed her acceptance by saying, "Yes, sir, I shall do as you order," and then saying Om. Srila Viswanatha Chakravarti Thakura comments that Om signifies Vedic confirmation. Thus, Yogamaya very faithfully received the Lord's order as the Vedic injunction. It is fact that whatever is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a Vedic injunction that no one should neglect. In Vedic injunctions, there are no mistakes, illusions, cheating, or imperfection. Unless one understands the authority of the Vedic version, there is no purpose in quoting Shastra. No one should violate the Vedic injunctions. Rather, one should strictly execute the orders given in the Vedas, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 16.24. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavastito Jnatva Shastra Vidanoktam Karma Pattum Iharhasi. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that one may gradually be elevated.
Hare Krishna. So here in the shloka purport, for translation, so Yogamaya is following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, basically. And again, the reference to Om mantra tells us that, we have to take shelter of Om to win Vedas, basically. Today, that's the representation of God. The Vedas or the Shastras are representation of God, just the way Yogamaya took the shelter or instructions from the Lord and followed them as it is. We should also take the shelter of Vedas and follow the instructions. So that the God is embedded into the Vedas for us to follow, basically. So that's what this particular sloka signifies for us to understand as the way Yogamaya understood. So that comes to the last sloka. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yogamaya, Devaki seems to have had a miscarriage. Thus, all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, "Alas, Devaki has lost her child." All the inhabitants of the palace, including Kamsa, when everyone lamented, Kamsa joined in compassion, thinking that perhaps because of drugs or some other external means, Devaki had undergone this abortion. The real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki, tomb of Rohini, in the 7th month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in Harivamsa. At midnight, when Rohini was deeply sleeping, she experienced, as if in a dream, that she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she woke, when she saw that this had indeed happened, and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, "Oh, auspicious lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Nikarshana." So this is what happened on the other side of the Yamuna River, basically, and at Nanda Maharaj's palace. So Yasoda Devi has experienced the change of the child in her womb, basically. The word yoga nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.69. Ya nisa sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisa pasyato muneha. When is night for all beings is the time for awakening for the self-control, and the time of awakening of all beings is night for the introspective sage. The stage of self-realization is called Yoga Nidra. All material activities appear to be dream when one is spiritually awakened. Thus, Yoga Nidra may be explained to be Yoga Maya. Hare Krishna. So when this shloka always actually confuses people. When it is night for everyone, it is day for me. When it is day for everyone, it's night for me. Basically, what it only means is like, when you are spiritually elevated or spiritually inclined or spiritually trying to take shelter, what appears for a materialistic person so important is not so important to you. What appears for a materialistic person so not so important is so important to spiritually elevated person, basically. So when it's time of awakening for materialistic people, or when it's time of activity, rajoguna activity for materialistic people, it is the time of yoga nidra for a spiritual person, and he's not interested in such activities. And the time when things for materialistic people are not so interested, that the spiritual for like God consciousness and such things are not something that attracts materialistic people, and that's what is more important for a spiritually inclined personality. That's what is referred in this shloka. Basically, what is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control, and what is the time of awakening for all beings is the night for introspective sage. The stage of self-realization is called, this stage of self-realization is called Yoga Nidra. Basically, you are very close to that materialistic world, but you are like sleeping from the thing that is happening right in front of you. Basically, you're not seeing it as if you are sleeping, basically. So you're disconnected to something everyone else is connected, because you are in Yoga Nidra. All materialistic activities appear to be a dream when one is spiritually awakened. Thus, Yoga Nidra may be explained to be Yoga Maya. So if you are not being attracted to something like other materialistic people, that's because of if you are Yoga Maya, or with the help of Yoga Maya, you are not able to see the same thing that other materialistic people are able to see, basically. So this is the power of Yoga Maya, and that's what we should take shelter of. And if you fail to take shelter of Yoga Maya, you end up taking shelter of Mahamaya, basically, right? That's the other side of Yoga Maya. Hare Krishna. So in today's class, the first 15 shlokas, we have seen how stage is set for Lord to appear. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the super soul of all living entities, and who vanquishes all the fear of his devotees, enter the mind of Vasudeva in full opulence, being way to become, making Vasudeva the father and Devaki Devi the mother, which we'll be discussing tomorrow, basically. So please come tomorrow without fail, for we all wanted to invite Lord Krishna appear into the world of Devaki and Vasudeva, and into our own lives and into our own world. Hare Krishna. With that, I'm going to stop the class here. If anybody has any questions or any corrections, any realizations, please you can unmute. And please forgive me if I spoke something, that hurt anybody, or something that please forgive me. That's just my realization and not based on what acharyas have said. It's my if the faults are more because of my misunderstanding or of my realizations of things, basically. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Please forgive me if I said something wrong.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions? Any realizations and corrections? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very nice chapter.
Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
Balamani Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
చాలా బాగుంది ప్రభుజీ క్లాస్ పురుషోత్తమ మాసంలో ఇది వినడం